Gayle King shocks Alex Cooper, CBS Mornings, co-hosts with NSFW question. Gayle King is getting risque in the morning news hour. In a Tuesday interview for CBS Mornings, King gave "Call Her Daddy" podcast host Alex Cooper a taste of her own medicine with a not suitable for work question in the middle of the segment. "You're a newlywed, you and Matt Kaplan. It'll be a year, so I'm curious to hear, what's your favorite sex position with Matt?" The 30-year-old chart-topping podcaster replied, "Oh my God, Gayle. Are we allowed to talk about that?" Co-anchor Nate Burleson chimed in. Producers said, "No. In my ear." King went on to clarify that she meant to highlight the private questions Cooper can get away with asking celebrities on her show. "Need a break? Play the USA Today Daily Crossword Puzzle. The reason why I'm doing that is I'm making a point here, because this is what Alex does on her show," King said. "She gets Katy Perry to talk about her love language. You got Hailey Bieber to talk about her favorite sex position. Simone Biles about her mental health." She added, "I did that facetiously because I knew you wouldn't answer. But the thing is, what amazes me about you is that you're sitting in there in those hooded sweatshirts that make everybody comfortable. You ask these raunchy questions, sprinkled in with a lot of smart ones too. And I'm wondering what the method is to your madness. How you're able to get people to talk. And I mean it as a compliment." Cooper, for her part, appeared to be only jokingly taken aback by King's invasive question and appreciated the recognition of her interview style. "It is a question we all want to know, but it's asked in the appropriate way at the right time. I'm reading the room, I'm being self-aware. It's not like I'm making someone uncomfortable," she replied. When asked about the origin story of her nearly 7-year-old podcast, Cooper explained, "Call Her Daddy, it was just like a reversal of, why can men always be considered the daddy, the boss, the one with the money and the status? Why can't we also be daddy?" King, an Emmy-winning journalist herself, responded, "You are a badass." Gayle King's Essentials. Sports Illustrated cover scoop, how Oprah accommodates her needs. The latest additions to Cooper's media empire are 2 new SiriusXM channels that expand on her Unwell network. In just 5 years, Cooper went from talking about sex and relationships in her early 20s to being named to Forbes' 30 Under 30 Media in 2022 with the help of her ever-growing listenership, aka the Daddy Gang. She left Barstool Sports after landing a 3-year, $60 million deal with Spotify in 2021 and has landed lengthy interviews with the likes of Vice President Kamala Harris, which was met with some pushback. Miley Cyrus, Hailey Bieber and Jane Fonda. She and Kaplan, who's a film producer and founder of Ace Entertainment, started their Gen Z-focused media venture, Trending, in 2023. It's the parent company of Unwell Network, which hosts podcasts from Alex Earl, reality TV star Harry Jowsey and comedian Owen Tila. She boasts the title of being the most listened female podcast in the world, often competing with The Joe Rogan Experience and The New York Times, The Daily, for the top spot on leading streaming platforms. During a live interview on CBS Mornings, on February 11, 2025, co-host Gayle King surprised Alex Cooper, the host of the "Call Her Daddy" podcast, by asking about her favorite sexual position with her husband, Matt Kaplan. The unexpected question caught Cooper off guard, prompting her to respond, "Oh my God, Gayle, are we allowed to talk about that?" Meanwhile, King's co-anchors, Nate Burleson and Tony DeCopel, laughed, noting that their producers had advised against such questions. King clarified that her provocative question was intended to illustrate Cooper's interview style on her podcast, where she often delves into intimate topics with her guests. King highlighted Cooper's ability to make celebrities feel comfortable discussing personal matters, citing examples such as Katy Perry talking about her love language and Simone Biles discussing her mental health. Cooper explained that her approach involves building rapport with her guests before broaching more personal questions. She emphasized the importance of timing and sensitivity, stating, "I'm not asking something like their favorite sexual position as the first question in the interview. I think there's a rapport that I build with these people, and yes, when I'm." She also noted that her candid interview style has helped her audience feel less shame around common experiences, such as sex, by normalizing these discussions. During a live segment of CBS Mornings on February 11, 2025, veteran journalist Gayle King shocked her co-hosts and guest Alex Cooper with an unexpectedly risque question. While discussing Cooper's popular podcast Call Her Daddy, King suddenly asked, "So, what's your favorite sexual position with your husband?" The question immediately caught Cooper off guard. She gasped and laughed, responding, "Oh my God, Gayle. Are we allowed to talk about that?" The moment was met with surprise and laughter from King's co-anchors, Nate Burleson and Tony DeCopel, who appeared amused but also slightly taken aback. They quickly chimed in, noting that their producers had explicitly advised against discussing such topics on the morning show. King, however, was quick to clarify her intent. She explained that her question was not meant to be intrusive but rather to highlight Cooper's signature interview style. On Call Her Daddy, Cooper often engages celebrities in candid discussions about relationships, intimacy, and personal experiences, topics that traditional media outlets typically avoid. King pointed out that Cooper has a knack for making high-profile guests feel comfortable enough to share deeply personal stories, referencing previous interviews with Katy Perry, Simone Biles, and Hailey Bieber. Cooper took the unexpected moment in stride, explaining that her approach to interviews is about building trust and rapport before diving into sensitive topics. "I'm